What's up, everybody? This is Russ Dornish. I'm a youth pastor in Montana and coming at you today with our devotion for CrossFire. CrossFire is an online faith based community of gamers.
My name is David Petty, and we're doing these daily devotions out of a book called On the Threshold of Transformation. They're meditations for men, but we're opening them up to be gender inclusive. And we are doing day 31, which is called Where the Soul Leads. So we're going to dive right in. Nothing is covered up that will not be uncovered, and nothing secret that will not. Let me start over. Nothing is covered up that will not be uncovered, and nothing secret that will not become known. And that comes from Matthew 10:26.
What is the value of talking about moving through different levels of consciousness? Is this just new psychobabble? One way to look at it is this: because we can't make sense of things that remain hidden in the unconscious, which might account for 95% of our true motivations, fears, blind spots, and agendas. We need to bring them into the conscious world so that we can identify them and become accountable for them.
You cannot heal what you do not acknowledge. Sin has been the religious word most often used to stand for this hidden, dark, and disobedient aspect of our nature. Sin is that part of us that is not truthful. It is any unfaithfulness to our true nature and our greatest destiny. In that deepest sense, we are indeed all sinners, and much of the time we act out of that sinfulness. St. Gregory of Nyssa explained that sin is simply our refusal to grow. So our two questions today are: when have I experienced moving from one level of consciousness to another, and what caused that shift? So Russ, when have you experienced moving from one level of consciousness to another?
Well, I mean, based on the reading today, it seems like a lot of what they're talking about is that this movement in and out of consciousness has more to do with us living out of a sinful nature than a not. And even though we are all, creatures of sin, I think it's really where you look at your life and you do everything from that kind of category. So for me, there was a period after school when I left, being in a Christian school and having to go to church essentially almost every day for 4 years. It kind of burnt me out on it, and it didn't really make me love what was going on. And so I would say during that time, I kind of made a switch and came in and out of that unconsciousness to where I kind of just lived away from, my relationship with God. I wasn't really going to church. I didn't really have community. And it hurt me. So I think that was kind of my big switch from coming into consciousness and into unconsciousness. And then making that switch back after a while when I realized that things weren't great and I really missed the community aspect of it. And so making that switch to kind of come back. So, what about you, Dave? Any thoughts on this very very deep subject?
Yeah, I mean, I think you're absolutely right in that it talks about the hidden and the unconscious, right? For me, that's like all the things that we do that we do without thinking, right? Like perfect example here. The other day, I sat down
Uh oh,
and I ate too many Girl
no,
Scout cookies.
we've all done it, Dave. It's
We've all
okay.
done it. Box of shame. But it was it was not a conscious decision that was like, you know what, I'm going to have a dessert. I'm going to have two, and then that's it. It was like, I'm just snacking. And I think we can do the same kinds of things where we can hurt other people. We can hurt ourselves. We can cause spiritual harm if we're not careful, by not really being conscious about the motivations behind the actions that we're doing. So, for me, a specific time moving from one level of consciousness to another, probably the birth of my kids was probably one of the biggest things that caused me to shift focus from, what's in it for me to how do I make the world a better place so that my kids, grandkids, great grandkids have a better world to live in. And then to take that back and say, oh, hey, there's this guy, Jesus, who had this great instruction. I don't want to say instruction manual, but Jesus had these wonderful ways of living that if I just kind of follow those instructions, I'm going to make the world a better place.
Yeah, Those are both great. I love the analogy of the cookies. I think that's a great way to kind of dumb down this really deep thought about consciousness and unconsciousness. And it's a really good idea. So, everybody out there, taking the cookie analogy, what are things that you feel you do unconsciously, and when have you moved back and forth between those different levels? Let us know in the comments below, or join us in the conversation at Facebook, at Crossfire Faith and Gaming. And of course, please make sure to subscribe to these videos so that you're notified when we upload them each and every day. So make sure you guys come back tomorrow for another daily devotion. Tomorrow is day 32, which I believe is entitled Erupting into Consciousness. So make sure you guys come back for that. So
Yes.
we'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day.
God bless you guys.